Wow, over 100 views on my first podcast episode. There are no words to describe how I am feeling right now. Thank you, and to everyone else who watched and clicked with your little tiny mouse or cursor or finger, depending on what device you were on, clicked it and watched at maybe a minute, maybe 5, maybe the whole thing. I don't know. I'm just so thankful that 100 of you, 100, clicked on that video. Thank you for that. And this podcast episode is very, very important. And as we are deciding the future and fate of my podcast, which does not have a name, I did call it Magic Zone in the first few episodes, but I figured that has already been given to a few other podcasts, and I don't want to. Well, when I say other podcasts, I mean my other podcast, but I don't want to rob myself of that name, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want you to tell your friend about me. Well, I do. But then they go and find some other random guy's channel about magic, like like card throwing magic and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, we have a lot of stuff to go over today. But before we start, I just really want to ask a few things of you. I know it's not very polite of me, but I want to do it anyway. If you guys don't want to do that, I'm perfectly fine with it. Of course, please, hold up. Yeah, of course, I want you guys, if you're okay with it, to go down into the description, show notes, click the more button, scroll down until you find my Discord, and of course, please join it. If you don't, I will be fine with it. Also, we have a Twitter page. We post Twitter. I post where I am in the world at the time. If you want to, go over and follow me. The link is also in the description. And yeah, please and thank you. All right, moving on from all that. Another thing, if you guys do join my Discord, I will shout out one lucky person every single episode. I will just scroll down until I find someone random who I have not picked yet, and I will pick them. So yeah, that's how that's going to work. All right. Let's see. This episode, of course, as I have already said, is what is going to be going on the next few episodes and the next thousands episodes of this podcast. The first thing I think is pretty important is to decide the name. Now, for all these things that we will decide, you can either vote in the comments down below. I will comment myself the 3 names, and you have to you have to like below, okay? Like the one below you want, okay? I have 3 names, okay? I did have 4, but one of them was taken by a lot of things. All of these are taken by at least one, but a few of them are not taken by any. So yeah, On the Stack was my first choice, but is sadly no longer a choice because it was sadly, I'm assuming like stocks and stuff like that stole it. So yeah, the next one is untap, upkeep, draw a card. All right. I was going to make it untap, upkeep, draw, but someone also, for some reason, already stole that. Why are people stealing my ideas? I don't know. What I do to them, I also don't know. So yeah, untap, upkeep, draw a card. That is option 1. The reason I chose that one is because typically when someone passes the turn to you, you untap your cards, and then for some reason you say upkeep, and then you draw a card. So yeah. I guess because it's in the middle, because untap and drawing cards are the 2 phases of your upkeep phase, as you can see on your turn thing. Alright, yeah. And then the other one, these next 2 are split into 2. The first one is Cardboard Commanders, because these things, you have not noticed, are made out of cardboard. The next one is, I believe, I don't know. I think it's called Game of Cardboard, or like something like that. If you guys have any other like desires for other names, please post them down in the comments, or I will not see them, and maybe we'll add those to our list. And then the last one is In Response To, because when someone casts their Ginormo thing that can be countered, you will say, in response to blah, I will cast Swords to Plowshare or counter target spell or whatever. Okay, so yeah, that's the other thing. So those names are very, very important. And yeah, another thing that I want you to tell me down in the comments is what you think other episodes should be about. Okay, so like if you want to see describing commanders, or if you want to see the best cards that I think are in this set or that set, please put that down in the comments. If not, if you don't put anything down in the comments, then I will just pull stuff random from my imagination. However, one thing I know we will be doing, at least for the set of Unfinity, is the good cards. Cards that I think are weird and wacky. Okay? And maybe that should be the section. Like, weird and wacky MTG cards. I don't know. But yeah, that's the only one I have. Just good cards MTG. Sadly. The next thing is announcements. Announcements. La, 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 la. Alright, anyway. I already did what the name of podcast and the options for that. I will be posting this podcast at some point to Spotify and Amazon Music. Please, if you have a friend who's like, I really want to watch this guy, but I don't want to because there's always ads in the middle of YouTube videos for some reason. But I have a subscription to Spotify or Amazon Music or whatever, and I will really enjoy watching them there or listening to them. And please tell them that it will be coming soon. So yeah. The next thing, I don't know how soon, by the way. I have no clue. I already said ideas for episodes because I have already said that. The last thing, I need you guys to vote for this in the comments, okay? I will put this again down in the comments. If I put a Patreon out to you guys to help support the show, would you guys perhaps do it? Like, would you be willing, if I set up, would you be willing to do it for me? Would you be willing to pay $1 a month or whatever to get extra content, like behind the scenes or interviews from the last, I don't know, whatever, alright? Please tell me down in the comments again. So yeah. Alright, that's all my announcements and notes and stuff from my MTG podcast note packet. So yeah. I just want to lay out the episode, like the next episodes for you guys so that you know what's coming. First up will obviously be there are 2 parts that you need to play a commander game. Technically 3 parts, but we're only going over 2. The first is to know the rules, obviously. And then the second is the deck building aspect of it. But I will not go over deck building unless you guys really want to. Again, put that down in the comments if you want to see deck building. But the other thing I will go over is politics and negotiations. Because if there's one thing that you don't want is let's say, Bob sitting across the table from you, and he has this giant 10/10 haste trample double striking creature, and he can kill one of you, and he can kill you, you can say, but that guy's at higher life total, and you can just deal with me later. I've got less life. Like, that's what we'll be basically going over. I have all these things and how to not get targeted in your play group, right? Like, why does my play group always target me? That will be one of the topics. Because maybe that happens to you. Maybe you're the person who gets knocked out in the first 10 minutes of every commander game, because every time someone has a creature, they swing at you, and you never have enough damage to kill someone. Maybe in a big impact, but not to kill someone. So yeah. But the way these podcasts are going to work is they're going to be set up like a Magic the Gathering turn. So of course, we have the begin phase on the Magic the Gathering turn, and the begin phase for this, I called it untap, which I literally have here start with yelling. I will start with yelling every time, because if some random guy clicks on this video accidentally, but then they hear me yelling about Magic the Gathering, maybe they'll come over and watch. I mean, isn't that such a great idea? I think it is. All right, and I will talk about Discord and shout out one person. Assuming you guys join my Discord, please do. If you want to get shout out in front of 100 people, I would recommend it. And then I will talk about what this episode is about. Apologies if I have any. Let's say I haven't uploaded in like a month for some reason. Speaking of that, my uploading schedule will be simple. I will probably upload every week. This is the only exception probably, because I really just wanted to push this video out to you guys. So next week when I upload a video, probably Wednesday-ish time, so about a week from today, probably not a week from the release date, but I don't know what day it is, wherever you are. So yeah, about a week from today, the recording day, not the posting day, but next Wednesday, okay? So that is Wednesday, October 28th. October 28th. All right, one of the last days of October, surprisingly. All right, that will be probably the next day a video comes out, and it will be politics and negotiations. And yeah, after that, it will be every week, and I want to say something. It will not be like if I post on Monday, but then don't post next week until like Tuesday, don't freak out, okay? Like if I post on Monday, let's say I post on Monday next week, okay? And then I don't post until Friday the following week. That will probably just mean I have a busy schedule, all right? We're all humans. We all have schedules, all right? I, of course, have work and, well, not, this is my work, technically. I have school, and high school's a lot, all right? But that's not the point. That's besides the point. The point is we're all humans, and we all make mistakes. So if I don't upload for a week, I am sorry. I will most likely make an apology about it. All right. And then the next phase is the main phase, which is my main topic. But the way I wrote it, it looks like main 2 pick. So we're going to rename this the main 2 pick. All right. And this will be the main topic, obviously, or main 2 pick. What I want to say, and I literally wrote MTG blah, blah, blah. All right. And then attack will be the announcements. And then I will most likely skip it. Unless I have announcements, most likely will. And second main phase will be, I will probably thank you guys. And in my end step, I will say one cool thing coming up in my life or board game that I play. And typically it'll be like, oh, I'm going on vacation here. You can see pictures on my Twitter here. Okay, something like that. All right. Or I'm doing this, and you'll see pictures, all right? Most likely, you'll see pictures unless it's a board game. I don't have an end step for this video, actually. And yes, this video is almost over. If you are bored of me already, you can leave. But if you aren't, then please stay. All right, let's see. Ooh, I could tell you guys about my first Commander deck. Would that be interesting? I think it would be. All right, my first Commander deck was Asia of Gyre Strait, I do believe. That is his name. Oh, yeah. Asia Tyrant of Gyre Strait. Alright. So, yeah, that's his name. Here's his card. You can read him and read all about him. And you can probably guess, assuming you have read it already, that it's all about lands. Lands, and drawing cards. And, yeah, this was the first Commander deck I ever got. And I love this deck. Every time I play with it, I'm like, wow. This sticker is amazing. I wish it was mine. And I'm like, oh, wait, it is. But yeah, that's the point. All right. So yeah, the end step, that's the end step. One cool thing. Asia Tyrant of Gyre Strait is a great guy. If you have a friend who's never played Magic the Gathering before, and you don't want to spend $100 to get him a really, really cool, awesome deck, then spend $20 and get him Asia Tyrant of Gyre Strait. And this is from Commander Legends. If you want to get the other Commander Legends, I believe, I don't remember. I don't remember the other guy's name, but if you search up Commander Legends Precon, it'll come up with a giant snake or serpent, and that's Asia. And then it'll come up with a guy with a sword. Flame sword or whatever. Alright, so yeah. if it's Christmas time when you're watching this, please go get your friend or cousin or whoever they are Magic the Gathering. And if they don't like it, you spent $20-$40 on them. You won't spend a fortune. All right. So yeah, that's one cool thing I play. But you probably already know that. And then I will, of course, say thank you. And Discord, please, please, please join. Twitter, please, please, please join or follow, or however that works. And please comment about all that stuff in the comments. I will remind you what you need to comment about or should comment about. Number 1, what episodes should be coming up in the future? Like, what do you want to see from this channel? Post it in the description. What's the name of the podcast? Should it be Untap, Upkeep, Draw a Card, Cardboard Commanders, or some other form of cardboard? Like, cardboard game. Should it be In Response To? You choose. And once again, should I expand and do Patreon? Would you guys do it if I gave you the option? I don't know what else to say. If you want to, go do all that stuff in the comments. Tell me if I should create a Patreon. If I shouldn't, also say that. And yeah. And then I think that's all for all of my stuff. So I will say thank you again for over 100 views on my first podcast episode. Never imagined. That's my most viewed video, except for all my shorts, which have like thousands. Alright, yeah. And thank you for everything. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications so you never miss another podcast episode. And goodbye.